the sun goes down on you. You gotta keep that shine on top, yeah. On top, yeah. On top.
Good morning, class. This morning I will be critiquing one of my colleagues, which is Janelle King. First thing I would like to begin with is the way she used her picture space, and she didn't manage to use her picture space well because there are too much negative space here, which takes away from the composition. And for the objective of this class was to capture texture. Well, as I can see, there isn't any much difference between texture. All look alike, like from the texture of the chair to the texture of her thighs. There isn't any much difference between that. And the way she uses of the lines to represent the form shadow, it was fairly executed. In terms of proportion wise, the left side of her breast looks more smaller than the right. The right side of the breast looks smaller than the left side, or my left side of the model. The model looked relaxed in the chair, and you cannot really feel the form of the model. It looked kind of flat because there weren't any much contrasting values between the top part of the abdomen to this side of her hips. There weren't any much gradual variety of contrast. But for this specific part of the model, she managed to choose the interesting part, which she didn't to the whole model, but I know she focuses on the breast and the vagina with the texture of the plastic. I think that next time when she's doing based on the objective, she should firstly look at the main objective to be more dominant than the other rest of part of the body. Yes, they play a role in the objective, but the main focus should be on the specific objective that is given, or the task that was given. And I should have used a more should have used more contrasting values in the background. Should have created slightly a three-dimensional, even though the model herself is lightly done with brush and ink. The brown orange kind of faded ink. There isn't really much emphasis placed through this composition. It just looked flat, and it doesn't create that interest, even though the part you choose is interesting, but you can still feel the difference between the texture of her skin and the plastic fold. There isn't any much transparency. It looks as though the lines she used to represent the plastic, it looks as though it's just a layout of the breast and like a layout of the plastic. So she should work more on like creating more values to bring out the folds of the plastic which was used, and the background especially, and manage her picture space. If she should have placed this composition more in the right hand side of my right, should have been a more interesting part, because it's more on my left, and this background take away from the composition which was placed on my left. So when you present in a work, first thing look at is the signature. You forgot the signature, and this is very, very important to know whether whose work I'm speaking about, or to give advice to the person. And the light, from where the light was coming from, you cannot tell really, because there isn't any much difference between the contrast between the left arm shoulder to the right arm. Like they're similar, and like you could, by looking at it, you could say lights are coming from this direction, from this direction. But this part, if you should add more contrast like this on her right side of her waist and her arms, right through here, it should have created the direction of light. And you should work more on the foresharpening part, because this kind of look like it's not fitted in the composition, because it's more darker, and it kind of take away from the model herself. See, this two part, it mainly when I look at it, it takes away the focus from the objective, which was the plastic foil. And I think you haven't really managed to execute for the objective for this class. Even though we had 2 sessions, I think you should have done better in executing the objective, which is